Hey guys, a while ago I made a video about if you were just getting started into cubing, what speed cubes you should get. But then it occurred to me that not all people are speed cubers. So today we're going to be looking at non-WCA puzzles that new cubers can get into. Okay, outside the WCA, I have a bunch of categories for different kinds of puzzles that you might want to get into. These categories are cuboids, shape mods, gear puzzles, higher layered puzzles, corner turners, edge turners, and miscellaneous puzzles. Any one of these groups you can get into, but first we're going to look at cuboids. So for cuboids, these two puzzles, the 3x3x4 and the 3x3x2 are really good puzzles to get started and learn the algorithms for cuboids. If you didn't know, cuboids have different algorithms than regular cubic puzzles. You have to learn corner drops, corner or edge swaps, and many other things. These two puzzles will teach you all the algorithms that are universal for all cuboids. This one is Cube for You, and this one is Land. They're really cheap puzzles and definitely ones to pick up. But if you know, cuboids can sometimes shapeshift, like this one. If you must get a shapeshifting cuboid because you really want it, my best advice is for you to get a 3x3x5, proportional or not proportional, it's the same thing. It adds a little bit of a challenge, but if you know how to do cuboids, it won't be that much of a difficulty. The next category is shape mods. Okay, for shape mods, there are so many types that you can get into to get started, and shape mods can be either the easiest or the hardest puzzles to solve. But a good first start for shape mods would be a mirror blocks cube or a void cube. I guess you could count a void cube as a shape mod, but let me just tell you a little bit about these puzzles. Let's start with the void cube. As you can see, the void cube is obviously not like a 3x3 because you can see through it. This causes a parity at the end. If you know how to solve 4x4, you know what parity is, where two edges are swapped because the center orientation is not the you can't see the centers. So it's a little bit of a different at the end, but it's just solved like a regular 3x3. Now, if you're new to cubing, this puzzle may not look like a regular 3x3, and yes, it shapeshifts, but you solve it just like a 3x3. This is your center, these are your corners, and these are your edges, and you just solve it like a regular 3x3. It may shapeshift, and you might notice there's no colors. How you solve it is you have to get it back to its cubic shape, because as you can see, when it scrambles, it gets all jumbled. Some other good shape mods for beginners would be a Fisher cube and a Master Morphics. Fisher cube is basically a cube that is turned this way, or 45 degrees this way, and then cut down so that the edges or the corners are now flat, and the edges are now like where the corners should be. This puzzle shapeshifts and is just like a 3x3. This is your side, this is your edge, and this is your corner. It solves just like a regular 3x3. Now the Master Morphics could be a little bit different to wrap your head around. As you can see, this is the center on the Fisher cube. It is split. All the centers on this one are split. This is a regular 3x3. This is the center, these are the edges, and then these little pieces here and these big pieces here are the corners. This one also shapeshifts. It's a really good puzzle to get started on and is the puzzle that I used. For gear cubes, there are basically two that you can only get. There's the regular gear cube and then the gear ball. They're both the exact same, and obviously if you don't know what a gear cube is, when you turn it, the edges twist and you have to turn each face twice because of the centers. So technically this cannot become a center, you can't turn it just once because this is an edge. The gear ball is the same story. These are the centers, and you move it. It may not look like it. These puzzles may look very intimidating, but they are very, very easy to solve. They require one algorithm. They are very easy to solve, and definitely pick one of these up. They're really good puzzles, and you can impress your friends with these. Now on to higher layered puzzles. This is kind of your preference. I just have an 8x8 here, which is just one up from the last WCA event, which is 7x7. But depending on how much money you have, and depending if you actually like solving these puzzles, which are very hard to solve, they're just like the lower layered puzzles. you can get it. But when you go up to 10 by 10, 11 by 11, and 13 by 13, it starts to get rather expensive. But if you really like solving these big cubes, you really like how it's impressive when people look at it, then definitely these are really fun to have in a collection and start for just getting it into cubing. Now I'm going to group edge turners and corner turners into the same thing. I have a dino cube here and a curvy copter. I would have liked to have a helicopter cube here, but I do not have one, but we can still work with this. First, let's just start off with the dino cube. This is the easiest puzzle in my collection to solve, except for this one right here, but that's basically unsolvable anyways. The dino cube, you need one algorithm to solve it, and it's this. That's it. And it's the easiest puzzle ever. It's really fun, it looks nice, and it's not too expensive. This one is the SMAS and MF8 one, and it's really nice. Then we have edge turners. There are no special properties about corner turners, and like a Rex cube, there's nothing really special about it, but that's a little bit more challenging. The curvy copter is a helicopter cube with the actual edges on it, which basically doesn't really add any challenge. The only thing that's hard about edge turners are the jumbling factor, where you can take pieces out of their orbits. Now, I'm not going to go into orbits and stuff. Edge turners and cuboids are the hardest puzzles to solve, in my opinion. But once you figure it out, it's pretty easy, and this thing looks absolutely beautiful. There are many other miscellaneous puzzles also. These include a magic, a snake, and a Siamese cube. Now, another possible category could be bandaged puzzles, but I think that's just involved with other things. So let's just go over these three puzzles. The snake is a very interesting puzzle. It's not a twisty puzzle. You can't turn the sides on it. It's actually kind of a take-apart puzzle. You take it completely apart. Here, I'll just do it real quick. And you make it a straight line. You have to give it back into that shape. It's really easy to learn, and it's the same solution every time. Speaking of the same solution every time, we have a magic here. The goal is to connect the three rings, and you just do it like this, and then the three rings are connected. It's really easy, really fun, and the solution is literally really short, as you can see. And it was in the WCA, but now it's not. Now, if you have two 3x3s, you can make a Siamese cube. It's really easy. You can look up a tutorial, or I might even make one. It's a really easy puzzle to make. All you need to do is take out one row and add some glue. That's it. It's really fun. It bandages, so all you have at your disposal is the R layer, the U layer, and the M layer. You can't do any D moves, you can't really do any L moves. But yeah, it's really fun to solve, and it's really easy. So, I hope I helped whoever's getting started into cubing out here on the road to the non-WCA puzzles. If you want to learn about what speed cubes you should get and other WCA puzzles, check out my other video. It's on my channel. It's called Just Getting Started into Cubing. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you out there. Bye.